Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on the time you will be watching this video. This is Teacher Miko. I'm back again on the platform, and today I'm still with my guest, whom we discuss some various issues on specifically on marriage the other last time when we were talking to him or when he was giving us his views. We are back today again. Hope you enjoyed the first show, and we are still with him, and we have come again for the second show. We are here today, being the 10th of August of this year. We have come with some of the things that are actually affecting our lives. We are observing them in different ways, in fact. Others are seeing them in a positive way, others are seeing them in a negative way. And me, according to me, my views and the way how I see those things is a bit difficult, or like to tell you. Maybe if I do share ideas with someone and I ask someone like now my brother Andrew, like the way my brother Andrew has come, maybe when we do share together our views, that's when now I can come to learn that, oh, this and this is like this. Brother Andrew, good evening.
Good evening, all viewers. Good evening, our comrades. Good evening, our sisters and our brothers, and our parents. Though there are parents who are in this kind of Gen Z life, they don't miss such things. They don't miss such shows.
How has been your day today?
My day today, it has been wonderful. God has blessed us with a good environment. We thank God for that. Though there are those who have received rain in other parts of the country, mostly Uganda, and we thank Ugandans who are doing a great job via in cultivation and agriculture, farming. Let's take it in a farming way.
Yeah,
Please,
they
may God
deserve
bless your
flowers.
words. Please deserve flowers.
Yeah, they're the ones who are making us to be satisfied.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise,
Other than we don't know where we should be.
we would be maybe importing from other countries.
Even if you are getting that food from the market, just thank the farmer. Because I don't think that if the farmer wasn't there, I don't know where I would be. So we thank you, all of you, and wish you the best as you wish to watch us once again as teachers trying to explain to you.
This is the field of ideas
where
we assemble ideas of different people, and you are free to decide and like to comment anything, because it's your right also to comment depending on how you will have understood. Mr. Andrew,
yes, please.
Today being that we have come, I would like us to talk about the politics of the country.
We start with
the politics of the country, because it's a topic majorly. We shall tackle Uganda, and we shall tackle also Africa in general. When we talk about the politics of Uganda, how do you see it today and now?
We shall start with education, political science. Way back in our homes, where we grew up from, I used to hear about political education, and it was as early as, by that time it was as early as the senior one, at times I think in P7, I don't remember very well, but political education was there. So now, later, it was scrapped off. I have no idea why was that education, that topic or that lesson was scrapped off. Now I hear we have political science, which was in secondary, in primary, in the secondary level, we used to know it as political education. So when you talk about politics, or when you talk about political comes from, let us measure it in heading. You have a family, you're a father, you're a mother somewhere. So don't think that we shall talk about politics only. We are talking in the concept that even your home, you're the head of the family. So meanwhile, you are the president of that family. You are the minister of that family. Your wife is a set or cabinet minister under you. When you're not available, your wife is assistant or your vice president. So people don't think that politics is just these other things that we know, but it goes deep into even our family, because it starts from our family, then it goes to the village or to the cell, from the village to the cell, from the cell then we go to the parishes and other things, then it goes growing up to presidential level. So I don't know where should we start from, as the moderator has asked. I'm still looking ahead, because it's a fragile question. You have to tackle it with mind of sense.
Being that in Uganda, you see, I'm a young boy.
You call yourself a Gen Z.
Yeah, who just grew up in a generation whereby we had one leader, and we still have that one leader. And according to the way how I've been observing things and how I've observed the things, since then, my parents say, I have a father who also takes part actively maybe in politics, but since then he wasn't giving it that time, though. Okay, like he didn't value it. He could give it time, but he didn't value it. Yes. He was. I should say he was a type of person that can be doing something without knowing the importance of that thing that you're doing. You just do because is it because of the peer pressure, or like the group influence you get?
Group influence.
And now I came to understand about politics very, very, very. When it came to, first of all, when it came to my senior 5, that's when I came to know more about politics. And by that time, I came to understand it when even the presidential candidate, the former Chadondo East Member of Parliament, Mr. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, had just joined politics. And if I'm trying like to compare the question I had asked you earlier, if you try to see the country, like the politics of our country right now, how are you seeing it compared to the way how it was before?
So starting with presidentials and the political governance, to me, politics of nowadays is not as strong as it was before. I don't know whether the money played a big role to change it.
Sorry,
it's okay. So, like, to change the entire system, we used to have systems, and the systems, the system was working, and the people who were elected by then were people of their, like, not of their, in like, how can I say it really for this? It's a bit hard, but you people, you have to really forgive us, because times there are sensitive things that we need, to play around, and we have to say the facts. So for their selfish reasons, let's say, those days, our people, we had political personnels who were genuinely open. So meanwhile, the corruption wasn't that much. Corruption was a bit minimal.
It was moderate.
Yes, it was, but it was moderate. But when we look at this generation, when we shift like 20 years back, and we come to this, count 20 years, and you come to this, and you look how this has been entacled, and see how money has been swindled, how people are running crazy, the taxes are increasing. When you look at the sugar, I remember my father, my uncle sending me to buy a kilo of sugar and buying it at 2,500. 2,500. That's
Uganda
the kilo.
shillings.
Uganda shillings. I used to buy pancakes. Mwita kabalagala mu Luganda. They give you 100 like this. You buy 10 pancakes.
Yeah, true. I also remember those.
You remember those days?
Yes.
10 pancakes at 100. So there is a moment I remember.
Right now one is 500.
No, it's 1,000.
One pancake.
One pancake.
Is
what changed? Okay, that's what I'm driving at. You get the point?
Yes.
So what really changed? Are the ingredients? Do we have still yellow bananas? Are the yellow bananas still there?
Yeah.
They are there.
Yeah, they are there.
Were the same as these ones? Were the same?
They are the same.
They are the same.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cassava flour.
Is it the same? Yeah, it is still the same.
Cassava changed, bro.
No,
Yeah,
not at all. Not
GMO
at
came.
no. Let me tell you something.
No.
GMO,
Just tell me. Is it the same cassava?
it is the same cassava.
What changed?
What changed? I think
What changed to make this pancake from 100 to 10 pancakes to 1,000 one pancake?
what do you think it changed?
Politics.
Yes.
So this is what I'm driving you to.
First of all, I pose a question to you. I heard you say that during those days the corruption wasn't that much.
Yeah, it was minimal.
I would like to know there. Differentiate for someone who is there, because it's like we are confusing things.
Oh, okay. Let us do this.
Are we the one who are paying much attention right now to the government? Or?
No. Let me first drive this point.
Yes.
That we had 100. You buy 10 pancakes at 50. Just a 50 note. 50 shillings. You buy 5 what? Pancakes. How many MPs were in parliament by then?
By that time.
Very
less than 100 or
we're 56.
56.
We had 56 districts. We used to study those things in SST. But how many districts do we have, and how many MPs do we have in a parliament now? The same parliament model.
Maybe it was created to make ease the implementation of services.
No way. Don't we have countries that are bigger than Uganda?
Yeah, they are there.
Go and look at their provinces or their districts. Call them districts, but for them they call them provinces.
Yeah, in fact, you remind me about Kenya. Kenya, they don't have districts; they have counties.
Counties.
But a county in Kenya, a county is very, very big. It's like a region in Uganda.
It's a region.
Yeah,
it's almost a region.
And they have,
as you say, Western region.
Yes,
it's a county. Now that county, you'll find that there are only 4 MPs. When you see Western Uganda, Western Uganda here, we have almost, when you look at the districts that are in Western, they are almost closing to 46. Or let's say 26 or 28 between them. Those are MPs. When you put that woman MP, Manyasuji, something like that.
What do you think made these guys to make all these districts?
Greediness.
Are you sure?
Yes. That's how politics do.
How and why?
No, this is what I'm telling you. If the pancake was 100,000, 100 shillings, and you get 100, and you get 10 pancakes.
10 pancakes, yes.
And you get satisfied, even you keep some going back home.
Of course, you
give your friends out.
You couldn't have.
You couldn't finish.
Yeah, true.
So, if I could not finish that pancake, and here comes another person and I give him, and we share, and we remain with the balance, it means that me, the person, the buyer, I have enough to give the rest. If the rest come and say, please, we need to know where you bought your pancakes from. Can you also take us there? Do you think the seller will remain the same?
No.
Because he's earning. Now, if I come, I have the portion of the entire Uganda, and you're the head, you're the sharer, and I come and say, if we break up this and make it a district, do you know that you're getting too much? You're getting something here. Do you know that you're getting people here to support you? You're not breaking, you're breaking Africa, you're breaking Uganda, or you're breaking that country to get support. Because if you leave it as a region, or you leave it as a county, or you leave it as a province, many will not support you, but less will support you. But when you break, give an example. You have a sack of maize, and you want to carry that maize, and you're alone. Will you manage that sack of maize to carry it by yourself?
It depends on the person who is carrying.
Not really, my friend. That sack is almost 150. Okay, let's say 120 kilograms. When that flour is well packed in 1 kilo, in a sack of 120. So who is that person that weighs 120 is going to carry that bag? And you have to be more than that weight to carry that bag.
Yes, true. So that you can balance.
You can balance. So nobody is going to lift that. Even the heavy weighters, these people who lift big heavies, wait. They cannot. They will tell you, no, so I need someone to support me and put this bag on my neck. Okay.
Brother Andrew, do you think it was a right idea?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is you have to divide it in portions to carry this sack.
Yeah, true.
You get? So you will not tell your friends how much you're going to earn through this, carrying this bag. But you will tell them, give me a bag, extra bag, empty bag. They will see someone just taking halves until the sack is done. And that sack will reach safely wherever that person is from. So it means when you chop things together and you chop them in peace, you will have the same thing. People will look at it and say, wow, this is intelligence. This man is so intelligent. But in actual sense, you're creating your power, your foundation of people to like you, and more and more. And if you are to confuse them, you confuse them more. That's the politics. That's the reason why.
I would like to understand something here.
Yes, please.
I hear, I wasn't there, but I hear during the Amini's regime, we had the stores, the government stores everywhere. During Amini's regime, my dad told me, by the way, that in Busia, that Kataone, electricity reached there in Amini's regime. In Busia town.
That is after Lego. Is it a Lego?
No, Busia is this side in Eastern Uganda.
Eastern Uganda.
So that town received electricity during Amini's regime. But circulating that electricity, spreading it from that center to homesteads, it has been successful by 2018. Where is the problem? And another thing,
the problem is our system.
By then, I don't think we had the districts the way we have them today.
No, there wasn't there.
How was he managing to create those? Because even where I come from, I still saw those buildings of the stores of cotton and coffee.
You're going far. Take a look at Kasese Railway. You go and see the stations where the railway used to pass. Recently, I was watching television. They were asking the board trustee of railway, Uganda Railway. They were asking about the missing wagons, stolen wagons. Imagine 250 or 250 around. If I'm wrong, you people correct me. Around 200 plus wagons were stolen. One wagon is bigger as a bus, more than even bigger than a bus. So just tell me, how can 200 plus wagons be stolen, which are bigger than a bus?
Were they stolen or even they did not reach the place?
Stolen from Kenya.
Maybe
that's what. No, from the ground and the report there was proving. I mean, the letters they had, everything they gave, they were stolen. And the manager said, you know what, you people? For us, when something get somewhere and stays there 90 days, I don't know, that's what he says, if I remember, that they declare it as a stolen carriage. Then I asked myself, how do you have to declare something that you really went there and you know that it's still there? Why do you have to declare it as stolen? Why don't you go and find it and bring it back? Because it's a Ugandan property. Your mandate is to look after it, is to follow every wagon that moves. Don't you have a system that follows that? Where does that come from? Your politics, your politicians. Okay, let's say, because you feel like this person is suited for the job.
No, so who should be blamed on that?
We'll go back to the cabinet. Go back to the main man on top. You know, is he? Yes, he's a good person. He started with everything.
What should he do?
Let him look. For me here, I think it's the right time, as he's doing, and every person around him, who the advisors and the rest of people. Me, I prefer now him to do a lot in information that he gets. Not everyone is giving him the right information. And not everyone is a good advisor. Let him get the right people to advise him rightly and apprehend everyone who's misusing these things.
Allow me relate that story to. We had a president, may he so rest in peace, in Tanzania here, the late
Pombe Magufuli,
John Pombe Magufuli. That guy did not just trust the information that they used to bring or like to give him. At times he used to go there on the ground and witness what's happening.
What is happening,
and makes decisions from there.
Yes.
And why do you think the president of the day,
is he
unable to reach?
He's able.
What went wrong then?
No, as you build the system, there are people you trust. You have home. You have kids. Let's say I have kids. Now, among my kids, I know there is one who cannot listen straight, 100%. If you tell her something, do this. I'm your dad. I want you to listen. Do this. And the next thing you find is when that thing is not done, what do? You bring your kiboko and you go through her bag. Say, please, I told you to do this, but you failed to do it. So please, I'm giving you this kiboko that next time when I tell you something, you do it. So what has been done to people who have failed to listen to him?
But he do claims they are your people.
They cannot be my people when you elect them. There are people that are not elected by people. Yeah. When you look at the ministers are not elected by us.
They are appointed by the president.
Appointed. But if you find that a person who's being appointed and is the one who's taking the money for the tax money for these people, what do you do? Okay, not only that, when you know that there is a rat that has been eating your clothes in a suitcase that you bought, and further that you said, no, these clothes are for party, only parties. If I don't have any party, I'm going to keep my clothes safe in that bag. You bought it knowingly that it's safe, nothing is going to destroy your clothes, and you placed it in a safe place. Even a thief may not even find it. But here we are, the rat came and started stealing the what? Eating the clothes. Eating the clothes. Now who's to blame?
We shouldn't blame the rat.
We cannot blame the rat.
The person who is eating.
No, the person who kicked. Why don't you go and check on your clothes? Okay. So you want to tell me that from the party of 2001, you don't have time, you never went back up to 2005 to check on your clothes? Yeah, the party was 2005, 2001. Yes, fine. You enjoyed it, you finished and you came, you washed your clothes, you packed it in a bag and you hanged it somewhere. Why don't you take time and look at your clothes? This is the same thing.
It's busy.
Being busy does not mean that you should forget.
But by the way, there is no way I can say that is being busy. No.
You're not busy.
First of all, leadership is not a job.
Leadership is not a job.
It is a responsibility.
It's a responsibility.
Yeah.
As you're responsible to those clothes. Yeah, 1 week, get your clothes out. Look at it. Try it, my dear. You may try next time when you find you're fat. The last time you were thin, now you have added some kilos. So what do you do with it when the party is the next day and you have not been checking it out? So it's better you get out, you bring it out, try it once more, look at it and say, yeah, it fits me as it used to. Then clean it, iron it, take it back and close your bag. So meaning that if you find anything there disturbing your clothes, you know before this happens. So the politics we're talking about, all the things that related on politics we talk about here, why is Uganda is not the way it used to? Okay, like we have failed to understand the dynamics of politics. You understand? So now my worry is